Hello and welcome back. Right, we're going to jump straight to it. We have a lot to do. So let me just remind myself where the contracts are. I think they're all at the top near the... They are. So we need to... Right, first of all, let's be sensible and get this in a position. We know he's going to need topping up. Let's put him... Get this done first, the fertilising contract. Then we shall carry on with our mowing. I'm going to try again. I'm not sure whether the it's just because it's new. If I'm honest, not sure. Right, create job. Actually, yeah. Excellent. Let's do courseplay. Now remember, he's going to waste some. I don't know if he's actually going to... We're going to have to keep an eye on him because I know that with this... Let's have a look actually if we can do with the Proxima. Create job. Courseplay. Course generator. 1. Let's do 4. Oh, it's done it today. Oh, smashing. Excellent. Right, then we best quickly move the that out of the way. Oh, wow. That is fantastic news. Oh, brilliant. Right, then let's get the baler and start baling. If he's going to go ahead. In fact, I'm trying to think, should I... I think I'm going to try without windering, especially the front mower one does a lovely pattern. We shall see if this has got a wide enough pickup to do the other one. Now let's have a look. How are we doing? He's nearly at the field entrance. Right. So who is blocked? Is that this one? Is it ours? With his mowing. Let's see if there's anything in the way. Oh, okay. There is. You're still charging me though, aren't you? No, you're not actually. Right, let's just set him going. And then let's just press go. See if he can cope. Why are they... Okay, let's do a couple of rounds and then see if we can get them to avoid the edge of the field. Wow. Let's do... check the course. And... see what he does. Whether he goes to the nearest waypoint. 'Cause I'm not quite sure. I've not worked out how courseplay actually... Does it always go back to the beginning spot? It seems to, which is the stupidest thing to do. Even a normal worker doesn't work like that. If you've already done it, why would you go back to the same spot? Once the course is set, it just seems to stupidly go back to the beginning and start all over again. What? Yeah. Make the same mistake over and over again. Okay then. Well, it looks like... If that's the case, let's see if we can use a standard worker, because it is good news that courseplay... Let's have a look. Let's change this to standard worker. Let's And now we can't cancel it. Ah, you can. Clear current course. Ah, it is like the old... Right, okay, this is me then not knowing what I'm... Right, let's do create a job. Not course play, let's go standard. Target position. There, and at an angle. Go. Let's see if it actually manages that. And have we got... Is he going? It looks like he is actually doing his job, or is he going around in circles? He is going around in circles, wasting... my... Oh well, at least he isn't wasting anything this time. Right, now it seems to be that when you now press, if I just press worker, it now should... Ah, now then we need to do something, don't we? Change that, I'd forgotten about that. There, right. Set him going and see... Right, okay. Where's the Proxima gone? Where is our... What? Have we lost a tractor? Okay, I'm going to do something I don't very often do. Right, okay. What on earth? Do you know? I've got to be honest. So he folded everything up. You know. This is just so annoying. Right. Let's do this manually. It's a lot less stressful. Let's try not to run any deers over. Let's get cracking, because this is it's taking us longer to try to get a worker to try to do the job than it would be if we were to do it ourselves. So yes, zoom in a little. I feel quite pleased with this actually. I know it doesn't obviously going uphill, which I would expect. It's not managing full speed, but then I wouldn't expect it to. The fact that it actually manages to go up the field at all when it's not quite in the horsepower range. Well, it is in the range, but in the lower end of the range. So for saying it manages this very well. Right, now let's try. What I'm going to try to do this time is actually use the land and go with the land. Go sort of laterally across the top of the field, working down. Even if I can't perfectly do that. I want to get this out of the way, get this bailed, so that we can get onto the other contract and pull the entire team into doing that, so that we get it done quickly. Everybody to have their job. We want mowers going off this one, and we want the Starer to be doing the windrowing, and then we should be following on with the baler. We'll have to come back to grab the bales afterwards, but we should truthfully make short work of that. Should see how well we do on this one. Quite wondering how many bales we get out of this with us fully fertilising and everything, in comparison to the standard just as was the first time. I have to do a bit of tidying up. The turnaround's very messy doing it this way, but think of a better way to get this done. Oh, yes I can. You just do it wider. Right. Let's just tidy that section we've just done. Oh, that worked okay. We're sort of doubling up over the same ground, which that's not very good. So we can fine-tune this a little. Still, there's always a bit of tidy up work, isn't there, on anything? I think, to be honest, it looks like really you should do a headland if you're using this type of swing around with this type of mower setup, because otherwise you miss a tiny turnaround section. So perhaps it's wise to pull upwards slightly to see if you can compensate. It's all about refining any kind of tactics, isn't it, really, with yeah, that didn't work too badly. And then go high, swing back round. You still miss a little bit, don't you? Yeah, I think it's just the fact that you've got to tidy up afterwards, which is just one of those things. How well Courseplay will handle the windrower on this field. That might work. Okay. Let's get this tidy up work done. Bit down the bottom, a few bits on the way up. Let's pull them back, fold that up, and just have the front mower. It'll give it a bit more power then for tazzing around the field. Should be able to go upwards a little bit better. There's only a few little tidy up bits to do now, so it makes sense to me. Let's get these little tiny bits done. I think we're about there. It's just a few tidy ups on this left hand side. Nothing that would be terrible if you missed them. And then we should get this windrowed, and I shall follow on baling if we can get this to windrow. Right, so let's fold that up. Oh, wrong one. Let's drop these two off. Okay, let's see how on earth is he doing? Not badly. No, he's doing quite well actually. Quite happy with that. Definitely good. Right, windrower. Let's see if we can get this going with the worker. Don't know whether to try this as standard worker or whether to try. So it is like traditional Courseplay. You basically set your course and save the course. It did seem to be different on day one, and I've not seen anybody setting things, but obviously coming from Courseplay it is different. But I'm gonna have to just right, let's unfold that. Let's have a go with Courseplay first. Okay, right, let's see, can Courseplay. So we want the Proxima, create job. Let's try coursework. And we want target position, where we are exactly. Course generator. Target's not on a field. 4. Let's try 7. 10% overlap. We start work on headland. It's not doing anything, is it? Yeah, it's not actually recognising it as a field at the minute. Okay, let's just do field work then. We're definitely, I mean, the tractor is on the field, so. Let's have a look. Well, I've got to be honest, Standard Worker has presently got Courseplay beat. I can't really say anything in Courseplay's defence. It really is quite bad. Why has that got 2 back selections? I've only got 1 back. Ah. Ah, right, that's the right one. Right, let's get going. I do love this. What is he doing? Not 100%. He's not inspiring me with confidence. He seems to be going backwards and forwards in the same spot. Oh no, he isn't. I take it back. I apologise even. I'll go further than I'll take it back. Let's do this. Get the headland run done first. Does seem quite a bit more grass than that first time we cut though. Definitely seems a bit better than that first time. So we shall see. We got 13 last time. We shall see. Yeah. Try and avoid the tree trunks. I do love this fast baler, the fact that it can actually hold a second bale, so therefore it just gets straight stuck in. I'm really... He says as he crashes into a tree. Let's see if we can avoid the tree. Come out a little. It's going to be fun trying to pick that section up. Way too much trees and undergrowth on this. I may have to go a little bit mad and tidy up with a chainsaw. I think it's necessary, even if it's only just to trim a few branches rather than go mad. I've always said it's necessary sometimes with the trees too, especially when they're really encroaching on your field badly. So every little bit helps, even if it is just to take some of the worst ones that are coming out into the field a lot. You don't necessarily need to take the tree out, as so to say, but we could definitely make a bit of a difference. I don't think I've actually bought a chainsaw. I can't remember. I don't think we have. I'll have a look in a minute to see how our... I would imagine he's not far off running out. How is our Proxima doing? Seems to be doing fine. Going up and down, doing windrows. Don't know how many bales we've done so far. Right, we should go up and down ourselves then. Do any tidy up work afterwards. Oh, we're certainly going through that hedge with some of our bales. Okay, let's grab him. He did very well, really. let's go and fill that up from the shop. Make sure we are. I think we're facing in the right direction. Yeah, we are. Smashing. Now that's an interesting test. Will Courseplay pick up from exactly where he was if I press the helper button where he was? That's an interesting test. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how Courseplay works on FS22. It's definitely a new candy beast. I'm very chuffed with how well we're doing though. I'm really hoping that obviously what I'd like to do is get a decent. Have I checked what we've got? I think I will have done. I just can't remember what we. Oh yes, I did. My favourite tractors. I do remember it now. Yeah. Right. Now I've thought about this long and hard, and I thought we come down to the shop a lot for this end of the contract, so why not stick a it cost me 2,500. After 2 contracts I will make more back through putting I'll talk to the shop about extending our contract with the company that supplies us and seeing if we can have it placed here, if you get my drift. So let's just have a go now. The shop says yes, they'll be glad if it saves everybody money, and of course they will too. Will make some money out of this. So let us okay, we can. Let's do this in a sensible place though. Like there. Okay, smashing, win-win situation. Let's fill that with we basically will almost make this back with a couple of herbicide and fertilizer runs, truthfully. Right, let's set this going. Right, that is definitely getting down the little bit of money we've got left. There's the field entrance. Just there. It's surprising how many things you do on automatic pilots. I've just driven this way and yet I really took absolutely no note of where the field entrance was. Just did it automatically without actually paying any attention to the location or anything. Right, I can follow me tyre tracks now. Yes, I'm going to see how this works. I'm going to press the B button and see if they just work from where we left it, or whether it goes back to the beginning. I hope not. Right, let's have a look. Nearly. In fact, it's from where those tyre marks veer off, which is about here-ish. Ooh, not bad. Not bad at all. Let's just get my angle correct. Although, let's see. No, he's going back to where he was, isn't he? Okay, in that case, which is rather... It probably is me. I'm going to have a right good look at this, but let's create job. I don't want Courseplay. Now, I seriously do not get what on earth. I think we're just going to have to pack it in. think... Yep, let's just do it ourselves. This is just silly. It's too hard to work out. So I need to go down a little. Once we found the place, I think I can pretty much... Should be about... No, we're nowhere near where we should be. It is... Wow. Are we pointing in the right direction? We are. Okay, let's just set and keep that as our angle. Yeah, actually, that's not bad. If we carry on as that angle. Can I see? Yeah, it's not bad actually. I can see the shadow. Now, I did do an outer edge, didn't I? So I've got to be careful. How is the other worker doing? Now they seem to be stuck. Oh, no. No, they're not. Not at all. Smashing. Oh, no, I was on the right one. Okay, I think it's about time to flip around. Find the edge of where we've been. Start turning. Make sure our overlap is not too much. That looks about right. There's a bit of a missing gap there. Let's see if my angle looks right. A little. We may need to... okay. What object are we blocked by? Ah, okay. Let's go in there. Oh, yeah, yeah. Let's try that again. See if he can pick up. So he's a standard worker. Let's see if he can avoid. Can he? Let's make sure we're good. It looks okay. It's not bad. It's about as good as it gets, but it does definitely look like, again, like there's a definite banding, about half width. Right, we're still coming in slightly, not quite getting the overlap right. Not bad though. One more run, I think, and we'll have this sewn. And this is a fantastic contract. Absolutely amazing. I'm looking forward to doing the baling one. I truly am, with a team. It's a big job, but yeah, for a team I think we'll be alright. Spin around and then we'll adjust the width to about 18 meters, I should say. Let's have a look. Oh no, that's not what I meant to do at all. It's right. 36, 30, 21. Try 18. I think that's going to be about right. Little bit under, I would say. Just a tad. Being as I'm not in the middle either, that's not helping. It's not far off. I'm happy. We've already finished the contract. It does shrink a little as well, so actually it'll be perfect. Just not quite right at that top end. Spot on. So everybody's happy. I've almost got that perfect. Almost. which means I haven't got it perfect, because you either get it perfect or you don't. There is no almost perfect. It is either perfect or it is not. Although I suppose there is relative perfection, because it's hard to get things perfectly perfect. With an acceptable amount of parameters is probably the best I can say. I'm still leaving a slight band in. Yeah, it's not bad though, it really isn't. We could do that and just about. Right, let me change that back as well, because I know I'd forgot about that last time. Right, brilliant. Okay, let's get him off the field and we shall send him back home. How is that other worker doing? He's not moaning, but that means nothing. Right, okay then, so the max, set destination, out of edge of our field, go. Oh, okay. Destination. How bizarre. Let's have a look at the proximate. Seems to be in the completely wrong place. Like he's going back on himself. Oh, they're doing that thing, aren't they, where they go... Yeah, no, you seriously. Right, let's do this last bit ourselves. It's going round and round. They do that sometimes with the wind drone, where they go round and round and round and round, doing what they've already done, almost like it's an unending loop. So yeah, we'll just tidy this bit up and then we shall finish off the baling of our field, and then we shall go and get cracking on the contract. Yeah, we'll just do a couple of circles, a few circles. Cricket sounds are making me think it's late at night. Okay. Let's just tidy that up a little. Looks a mess in the middle. Let's get this bit, just get a line. It's difficult with a small width. This is a hard window to get to grips with the best way to use. Okay, we're going to need... Right, let's get to baling. Let's actually grab that contract. Completed. Wow, it's a fantastic price. Field 7, right next door. No, we don't need the wind. Ah, that's a point. There we go. Fertiliser is back. Fertiliser. Our fertiliser tractor is back even. Dear. Right. I'm going to miss one and then do another one. There'll be definitely quite a lot of tidying up to do. Smashing. Has he? Oh, I must have. That must be me. It's got to be me, hasn't it? Okay, let's quickly fill that up for next time. Always like to do that when we've got. Stick that there. Always makes me laugh. It's usually the one behind. Yeah. Okay, so then what are you? You're 105 horsepower. You can take the bale trailer. We can send him on his merry way, to be honest. And we can send the other one. We'll do it one at a time though, because we know these roads, with them being single track, they don't like to have more than one of them on at any one time. So well, that seemed to be what it was working out at yesterday when we were trying to send two down this road. It refused. The second one always refused to go whilst the other one was on the single track road. So to me it makes perfect sense that it was that. Right, so we want to set the destination to field 7, which I think is that same road. So, can you cope with that? We'll jump. No, we won't jump into that. We'll run across to it. Okay. Let's go and grab the Zeta, and we should stick both of the mowers on, and then we should get with our baling. This is what I was saying the other day about juggling, and this is well, I'm going to need the windrower, aren't I? But I can be clever and put the windrower. I can't use it on the front, but it is only small. That is one big advantage to having a small windrower. You can stick it on the front. So, it says, no, thinking about it, that will work. I just need to take the back mower. The big tractor can take the front mower and the... Right. Is that folded correctly? Whoa, he says as he crashes into the gate post, and then seems to somehow be stuck. It's not moving. Right, let's have a look how our first tractor's doing. It's still a bit messy, but how is he doing? Okay, let's get out. Let's do a bit more baling. Typical November morning, very, very dreary and dull. Even though it's the sunshine and it's a very grey, very typical November day. Yes, I definitely think we're going to have to do some tidy up work on this to get some of these trees. To be honest, it may well be advisable to wait for probably December when the leaves and that have completely gone, where we can actually see what we're doing without guessing with delimbing. Oh, wow. Why am I doing 6 miles an hour going downhill? I should be going full belt. Smashing. Okay. Let's do a bit of tidy work. Right, let's grab the Proxima and let's Set destination. Actually, the road itself. Let's see if you can cope. Just try and do a bit of tidy up. Over there, it seems to be alright. When we get to the other end, we shall move him onto the field, move the other one out of the way as well. I don't think we're going to be able to get that bit under that tree. We went a bit mad with the mowers. The mowers could get away with it, but the baler not so much. Right, I think we're definitely going to do better than 13. Yeah, this is very hilly though. I'm saying that he's... Oh, mind you, I was going downhill. I would have expected to actually do the maximum... because I am overpowered for this baler. It's 150 and we're 160. So going downhill, you would have thought that would have been fine. If anything, this tractor has got quite good ability. It's I've done a plough, 9 metre plough on this that really it shouldn't be able to pull, and it pulls it very nicely. So yeah, it is, if anything, slightly overpowered, not under. Or definitely was with the plough anyway. Wasn't even anywhere near the range that it should have been, and it still pulled it absolutely spot on, as if it was fine. Fantastic. Let's get those two. Let's enter and stick him actually on the edge of the track. Okay, let's grab the Zeta, who I've gone a long way down the road with. It's quite surprising sometimes how you overcompensate. You should be able to cope with this contract. Get these repaired afterwards though. Okay, should drop the windrower off. Grab the front mower when the big tractor brings it. Smashing, that's half of our team. Just got to finish our field and grab the front mower and get over to that field. I could actually start, that's the point, we could start the back mower mowing. Does seem a bit silly to me to be waiting for the front mower. We can obviously put the front mower on, but we could be halfway across that field. That sounds like a good idea to me. Okay, our trouble is we are going to have to... Let's see if Courseplay can cope with this on a proper field. Because it can do headlands, that is one advantage it certainly does have. So create job, Courseplay field work. Let's do nearest. Target field 7. Generate a course. 7 headlands. Yeah, would like to do that actually. Generate. Looks good to me. And go. Let's have a look and see see if... Ooh, not bad. I mean, I'm not expecting perfection, truly not. Just the fact that it's getting somewhere, can regenerate the course once we've got there with the front mower as well. But if it does a couple of rounds, that's still an advantage. Okay, let's try and push that out of the way. Messy, very messy. Certainly are big windrows though. He joined 3 or 4 windrows. Perhaps that's what he was doing in the end then actually, but he never finished the field. But I suppose if he was joining windrows together, that's probably why I'm going slowly. It's probably an awful lot of grass. Wow, how many bales have we got down there now? 3 that I can see. Maybe 4. I think there's another one on the left. It's a very rolly hill though. Let's have a quick look while we're going uphill. Bales produced session 13, so we've already beaten the first record by creating 13 bales, and we've got quite a bit of grass left, a lot of clean up area, so I should say, I would say more like 20 odd ish. Okay, let's try that again. That's definitely not working as I intended. Okay, let's go over there. Get these few spots grabbed while we're passing. Every bit helps. Try and push the bales out of the way, they don't half get in the way. I'm not sure actually whether we'll quite get up to that. I think that might be a bit of an over-exaggeration actually. There's a lot of grass here, but I'm not sure I'm quite going to create 7, probably maybe 16. Might be a more conservative estimate, not too far off. So we set the wind. No, we'll let the. The trouble is, we do need to set the windrower going, don't we? Using a very similar course as the cutter. much more now. Bit of tidy up work to do on these runs. This is quite tight. Doubling back. Right, should be pretty much it. Tidied most of the other up, other than that bit under the tree, which truthfully I don't think we're going there anytime soon. Ooh, let's try and finish this bale off though. We've only got a tiny weeny bit to get. Should just about be able to get that with all the bits and bobs, I think. 98%. Come on, we can do it. There's a couple of patches over here. It says. Patches down here. Shame we can't get that bit under the tree. There's a massive pile of grass there, but we just can't get close enough. No, I haven't. I've not got my... I suppose now is a good time. Let's send away to get ourselves a chainsaw. This one we're not supposed to chop. It is one of those we're not supposed to chop, but you can get it in places. Oh. Yeah. Oh, I do hate that. You're not allowed to chop a tree down. Okay. Hooray! Smashing. Excellent. Right. Let's grab the front mower and send this off. And then we shall set the windrower off while this is travelling. And we shall grab the front mower and redo the course, and then we should start baling on our contract. Let's turn that off, lift it, grab the front mower. Yeah, we're still good enough. I was just looking at the damage while we're passing our repair place. Not sure how well this would actually mow. Sometimes when you add the by Pepe, now I've got it written down, 978, who I always forget his numbers. Yes, the front lifter sometimes doesn't always get the right height because of where it bolts on, so yeah, it's not always perfect. Right, let's travel. Let's get him going. Right, set destination. So okay, let's grab the max. Okay, wow, yeah, that is a bit messy. We should set a standard worker just going up and down, I would say. Yeah, definitely. Then. Okay. Yeah, smashing. He's doing well. How are you doing? Let's have a look. Should let him do another rounds and then we'll grab. I think we're going to manually have to do some of the outside looking at this, but he's actually windrowing a bit that's not been cut yet. That's necessarily the bestest of things. See, he has got quite a lot done though. Bearing in mind he's done that all the way around the field. It's quite surprising how far. Thank you very much, young man. I think it was a young man. I could not swear because I think the ladies can wear those kind of t-shirts as well, but it looked like a gentleman behind. Right, smashing. Excellent. Wow, we're not doing badly. 29,000. Not bad at all. For saying we've spent a fortune. Just keep our eyes open for any brightly coloured objects. No, that's not the right field, Mr. Smith. I don't think they are going to want that mowing. A little bit further yet. Left, I think. Yes. You can see a bit of the mowing around the edge of the field. Beautiful trees, absolutely beautiful. Yes, we may have to chop entire trees down because it looks like that one wasn't playing ball. I could have chopped it. There were certain bits where I could get the green ring, so right, let's drop the front mower. Should technically be the one we've got selected. Okay. Let's see where the mower is. Are you the mower? You are, aren't you? Yeah. Let him literally get back to there. Then we've done 1, 2, 3. This will be the 4th round. By the time we get round to there, we set 7, but we're going to need to reset this field, rescan it. So you have to go to the one below to say clear job. And that's what I've got to do because I'm leaving the set course, which is throwing Courseplay a bit of a wobbler. We need to re-establish the thing with a new set of parameters, a new mower on the front, so that it can then rescan the field and redo that. So we're going to have to look at our lines. Right. Smash it. He's going to struggle to attach with that back mower on. Let's drop it for a second while we attach that front one. And we're going to need to turn around. We shall see if we're better to set a normal work. No, let's. I'm trying to get better at Courseplay. Let's do that. No good sort of trying, is it, with Courseplay? It is a new beast, but it's similar. I should be able to. Right, so this is the edge of the field, literally. Right, so we need to go to Courseplay, clear current course, and we need to. What's change mode? Oh no, right. Course interaction, excellent. So we need to create a job, Courseplay field work, and we do want nearest target position exactly where we are. It's pointing up. Generate a course. Let's say more, because we did 7 on it and not even half. 10. Headland overlap 10% clockwise. Generate. Lovely. That looks fine to me. And let's go. Let's now have a look. Well, what we'll do in a minute is... Oh. It's not doing the outer round. We might need to do one outer round ourselves when we're finished. Right, okay. Let's start bailing. Oh, it doesn't really matter for perfection, does it? Okay. Smash in. Is he moving the winter up down? Looks like he's moving the windrow, so he's getting massive. But he's just repeating the... Need to keep an eye on these. In fact, I think we need to move the windrow, don't we, really, looking at it, because it's because he's got nothing to work with. He's just like keeps playing with the same windrows all the time. Wow, I do love this. It's an amazing baler. It's always was always too expensive on FS19 but obviously FS22 it really is fantastic. Wow, there's still definitely a lot of grass we can do on the outside though. We'll do a manual run when we finish this. Definitely. Yes, we shall move the window in a minute. We'll get to the first beginning of this course. Stop this. Grab the window and bring him over this side. Set him up and down. He's got 3 or 4 that he can make into one. Make some super windrows, and then we'll follow him after courseplay when courseplay's done a few more inner sections. But at the minute he's just like repeating the same rows. Right, I think I am going to say, I reckon this is going to take a while, even with a team, so I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and girls on the other side.